It's been a long, hot day here at Henley. On the opening Wednesday of the 2015 regatta, we've had some amazing racing for a Wednesday, and this highlight show is going to start with a race in the Y-fold. Look out for Tyne. Over to our commentator, Sarah Winkless.
Attention! On the left-hand side, Tyne on your right. The Y-fold Challenge Cup fours again, Cox's fours, so there's athletes in the boat with a steering foot that are using the rudder, and both these crews have got off cleanly and fast.
Really good clean start by both crews there, as you say, Sarah. Really quick as well. They both went off at 48 strokes a minute, and that has meant that they are, really starting to make headway as they come up the course, but they're also pretty much level. We're going to see from the side angle in a minute just who's made the best of that start.
Upper Thames are going to be going past their own clubhouse in a minute, Peter, and they had a fantastic year last year, winning the Y-folds and the Brit Challenge Cup, so they're the current holders. Those athletes not coming back to compete again, these are a new four, and they're determined to hold that mantle.
Really solid clean start from Upper Thames there. Their rating started to stride out, and they're really getting into their race rhythm now, which is the crucial part and the crucial rhythm that will see them through the middle stages of this race before they start to wind it up.
We've got Upper Thames on the right-hand side, Tyne Amateur Rowing Club on the left-hand side. We're looking back over the beautiful Henley Regatta course, and it's Upper Thames who've pushed themselves away.
Coming up to the enclosures now, so Upper Thames will have heard that blasting roar as they went past Upper Thames, which will have given them a real moral surge to maintain that lead as they come to the closing stages. Looking really clean, solid and comfortable actually out in front. There's not much of a lead there, perhaps they're conserving energy, but you can see the strain on the faces in that Tyne boat, really trying to pick it up for a solid finish.
Absolutely, Tyne are throwing everything they have at the moment, but Upper Thames have got this in control as we look at the moment, just going into the Gemmill, in front of the Gemmill enclosures. You can hear people have come down to Henley Regatta, 11 o'clock in the morning, first day of racing, to cheer the local crew on.
Really exciting. You can see Tyne start to wind up the rating a little bit there. They've each had a little look over their shoulder to see what sort of ground they've got to make up. It was only a length and a quarter as they came into the enclosures, and the stroke man there, Julian McBride, peaking again. You can see there was the gear change. They've started to really lift it up now, so we could see quite an exciting finish to this heat of the Y-fold so early in this year's Henley Regatta.
Yeah, absolutely. This crew's had some success in the CELO, third in the senior Cox's fours in Marlow Regatta, and they've come here to Henley looking to hold that mantle, pressing, but they've had a good, honest heat here in the heat of the Y-fold Challenge Cup. But at the moment, Upper Thames pressing it on, hearing those crowds, pressing it onto the finish line. This is going to be one of the closest races we've had today. Tyne have turned up here, absolutely pressing on the local club. Upper Thames versus Tyne. These athletes giving everything they've got as they come into that finish line. Tyne wishing for the bell, pressing it there. Very close, Peter. The finish judges will be making their call on that race. Looking at the reaction, the athletes had nothing else to give.
And when the finish judges looked at that photo finish, it was a very narrow win to Tyne by just 2 feet. Now, for our next look back, we're going to stay in the Cox's Fours, the club Cox's Fours, the Y-fold, and it's a race between Marlow and Tyrian.
Back to the Y-fold then, and this is the third heat of the day in the Y-fold. Marlow Rowing Club, another local club. It's Tyrian, and away they go. Set for another battling 1 mile 550 yards or 2,112 metres, whichever way you care to look at it. Bit of a breeze picking up actually at Temple Island. You can just see the trees being buffeted around in the breeze.
You see there, Tim, where they hit the top of the island, just where these red buoys. You see how the crews can be knocked. They are very, very close to the booms this side. Very close indeed.
The blades scraping the moss off the booms down. Oh, there we are, clattered into the booms for the first time, and that's really caused Marlow a advantage there. Tyrian club clattering into the boom, and that is the fate that no boat wants to undergo at Henley Royal Regatta. And you see the blades crashing into the boom, and they missed a stroke or two as a result. They have to try and pick the momentum of the boat back up. and that will have cost them time in this race.
Well, they can come back from that. It does happen. They're having a glance over. They're almost, well, they do have to do a restart, and it takes a bit of energy out. But sometimes they come back with a bit of an extra spurt, and yep, these boys have. So they've recovered very, very well indeed. So
that's a great effort.
One minute you're looking at the back of Marlowe's necks, then you're in amongst the wood, and then they're not in sight, and now here you are back in front again.
Credit to Tyrion and their character, overcoming early race problems to now take a length lead over Marlowe in this Y-fold first round heat.
The Y-fold is always massively entertaining. Now you can see how they've flirted with the woodwork on this side. Now they're bang in the middle of the river. The umpire's probably going to get a bit grumpy with it in a minute. And there, yeah, right on cue, there's the umpire. He asks them to move over and offers the flag, as if they're not too sure where they should be. Have they obliged? Possibly. As long as they're not interfering with the other crew, and generally that's the etiquette here. He's warning them again.
They're going to have to move across now. They initially gestured, they just nodded towards the umpire's instruction, didn't they, and headed towards their own side.
There's enough distance between them that I don't think it's going to affect anything. Marlowe are looking particularly ragged here coming into the enclosures. There's still a bit to go, but Tyrion, they look powerful, these boys. If they can sort their steering out, that would have been an even bigger distance, I think. There.
Some learning, I think, for round 2 for Tyrion as they head towards the judges' box of finish and the boat tents. Down here, past the stewards' enclosure they go, and now they've cut a decent lead. Well, that race has had a bit of everything in it. Very entertaining, and Tyrion Club come out on top after near early calamity and a crash into the boom. They recovered to overtake Marlowe and in the end win by that margin, some distance. And Marlowe, well, they look distraught, don't they? Well done to Tyrion Club, overcoming adversity to progress to round 2.
There are not going to be many crews who hit the woodwork and then carry on to win, so well done to them. Now, we're going to turn to the Temple, the Student 8s. This is a race between University College London and Liverpool University. Our commentator for this one is Martin Cross.
Attention! Go!
So attention go, the umpire calls, and both crews' blades were into a maelstrom there, driving the boat speed as high as they can go. And well, I think we can see again Liverpool University. Are they coming a little bit over towards the Berkshire station? Are they veering off their course, Mark?
Yeah, they've gone into the middle of the river there, really putting pressure onto the opposing crew, and that could be a tactic they have to kind of put them under pressure, get them out of their boat, looking over a little bit. And as you can see, they've started to move back over to their side. So that might have been a tactical thing they did off the blocks. Now they're inside the booms, and the race is really underway.
It's a real head-to-head race, and this is one of the fantastic things about Henley, Mark.
And this is the sort of race you come to Henley for, that side-by-side, that gladiatorial racing, where it's one-on-one, and you're just trying to, it's a fist fight all the way down the track, and you're bow ball to bow ball.
Well, they're probably coming to around about the halfway distance in this race. I guess it's the UCL crew on the right of our picture, Mark, that are leading at this point. How do you see it?
Yeah, they've just moved up. It looks like they've got about half a length. They're in control of the race. They're in a really nice rhythm there, and they can just look back at their opponents, you know, and put their opponents under pressure. But the one thing about Henley that you don't want is you don't want to drag along or tow along the opposing crew. You want to break that string or break that contact so they can't feel you there.
That seems to be a bit of a decisive move that UCL have made now.
Yeah, they've got a couple of men there. There are 2 men in front there. It's not much, so it's pretty much it's all in there. They're side by side.
What's going through the minds of the Liverpool University crews? They're gradually beginning to lose contact with these University College London students.
Yeah, the more they can hold the University of London, the more confidence they will grow over the course. You know, because they'll be stuck to them like glue now. And if University of London is sitting there, the pressure's on them there. It transfers back over to the crew in front, trying to hang on because they've committed so much to getting in front. And now the confidence grows in the Liverpool crew, and this race is coming back to there's not much in it.
Oh, it's a real barnstormer, because there was me in my head going Liverpool University, bye-bye, University College London moving out. But actually, they've moved right back into this race, and if anything, I think they're coming through to lead. That's a fantastic job from the Liverpool University crew, led by Ollie Wilkes, and behind him, Jack Wojciak. So I have to say the signal's gone up there at the 1 mile, and Liverpool University, that number 2 has gone up. That's the indication for the buck station. Liverpool University in white, closest to us, and they are, well, they have a significant lead over University College London students in purple. That's about half a length lead.
I think this is a really tough patch now for the University of London. If they don't hang on and dig deep now, Liverpool University could walk away with this quite easily. And this is the exciting point. You come into the enclosures, both boats are fairly close. The crowd starts to get noisier and noisier as you come in towards that line. And Liverpool, if they're clever enough, they can just edge over and just give the University of London some dirty water from their puddles.
Well, so that's another thing about match racing, isn't it? Just the puddles, you can see the swirls. If you can send any of those puddles onto the blades of your opposition, then they may have more difficulty. So we're coming up to the finish, and that's a fantastic job from the boys from Liverpool University. Wow, look at the celebrations. Almost a length victory, not quite over University College London. It's a fantastic feeling as they cross the line. You can just see the man in the 3 seat of Liverpool University, Borna Banshee, hold his arms up in delight. They will be thrilled with that result. As University College London, dejected, just offer their congratulations.
Now we're going to move from the Temple Challenge into the Princess Elizabeth for Schoolboy 8. It's an amazingly competitive event, and there are some absolute humdingers. We were all thinking that this was going to be one. Hampton versus Shrewsbury. And
they have started, and I think that was a good start from Hampton School with the yellow blades. Perhaps a little tentative from Shrewsbury School, but they rode a fantastic race in the National Schools Regatta, very competitive, and I guess Shrewsbury School on the right, most people's favourites for this race.
Yeah, these are 2 big kind of schools in this particular event. They've both got history of winning the event, and Hampton have had the best season, injuries, and they didn't make the final in that school, so that was obviously disappointed, and Shrewsbury came 5th. So both crews really on paper are quite similar. It's just who gets the better race plan going into this big kind of duel.
There we see a shot of the Hampton School, stroked by Jack Rhodes, Crisson behind him. And Hampton seem to have taken a significant lead from the Shrewsbury crew. They do look to be rowing well. Great cohesion in that boat.
Yeah, that's a big turnaround from where they raced earlier in the season. You know, they've really committed to what they were trying to do, and they didn't let the performance of that schools hinder them, and they've really come out and worked on some things and, you know, progressed on, and this is a big scalp for them to take today.
So we're seeing a bit of an upset here. Hampton School not in the final of National School. Shrewsbury School on the left of your picture as you look at it. They were very much in contention for a medal until the last 500 metres. But what have Hampton put into the first part of this race? Of course, it's a mark of Athol Hundermark's crews. When he coached at Abingdon, they always have a fantastic second half. I remember seeing them in the Schools Head of the River come through. So this race is not done and dusted yet. And, well, there's a great shot of Jack Rhodes, the Hampton stroke. And these boys very focused down the boat. They're not looking out at all, are they? Shrewsbury School in the yellow boat that's closest to you have moved back a little bit on Hampton, and I think this could be anybody's race, but camera angles may be deceptive. How do you read it, Mark?
Yeah, it looks like Hampton still have the lead. You know, Shrewsbury seem to be moving back, and you know, Hampton really need to dig in now, because if Shrewsbury get a sniff and they get close, you know, the excitement and confidence the crew gets from that just draws you up, and then just really kind of helps you pounce onto the crew.
So Shrewsbury School now, we look at them, they're desperately trying to make the distance up on Hampton, rowing in their yellow Empacher shell. The camera's just moving down. They've still got work to do. It's Hampton School. This is a turn up. The form book is not really going according to how we thought it might do. Hampton School have a lead, but it's not a big lead as they come down to the last 200-300 metres. Hampton, they're holding on, and we'll get a closer look as we get the camera onto the finish. It looks like Hampton's race in the black boat from Shrewsbury School on this near side. A few more strokes to go past the packed stewards grandstand. There's Shrewsbury, there's the shot in the finish. You can see for yourselves that probably is a race-winning lead. An upset coming up here. Hampton School take the heat of the Princess Elizabeth Cup. There they go, across the finishing line. A close race from Shrewsbury School that Hampton School have managed to beat Shrewsbury, who did so well in the National Schools final. Well done, lads. You'll have a great race tomorrow against the favourites, Westminster.
2015 is the first year of Steve Redgrave's chairmanship of Henley Royal Regatta. When Steve was at school, he was at Great Marlow School, and he couldn't come and race here because Great Marlow School couldn't put 8 oarsmen together to row in the Princess Elizabeth. There was no smaller event for schoolboys. Well, there is now. Henley Royal Regatta, the Forley Challenge Cup, is for junior men's quads, and Great Marlow School have entered this year, the first time they've been at Henley Royal Regatta. Great Marlow School versus San Diego.
As they head up to that glorious collection of trees and beyond the roaring enclosures, who I'm sure will have a very special welcome for these 4 guys who bear the weight, in a sense, of Sir Steve Redgrave. That is an act which is, of course, more or less impossible to follow, but equally those are shoes which it is a privilege to tread into, and they, I hope, are able to enjoy that privilege on this most special of afternoons for them.
While the result of this race doesn't seem to be in much doubt anymore, neither crew is backing up. I think San Diego want to set a marker, want to see what they can do on this course, maybe send out a message to the opposition that they'll face tomorrow and onwards. And for Marlow, you know, this is their big regatta. This is what they've been building up to all season. They won't have been sure they've made it through the qualifiers. To get here and race today is a big deal for them, and they'll be wanting to have their best race of the season, you know, even if they come in second place. And you can see from the expressions on their faces now, there's grimacing going on. Nobody is backing down. Everybody's going to cross the finish line exhausted in this quad schools.
Once again, it is evident that challengers in all competitions from the other side of the Atlantic are formidable and enhance this event hugely, deepen its competitive nature, broaden its horizons, and provide challenges, including this one, which will have been a well-met challenge by Great Marlow, albeit in defeat. It is San Diego Rowing Club from the USA, who progress at Henley 2015, and Great Marlow, whose experience is now over.
We've had a whole raft of commentators and co-commentators working on our stream today, and one of them was Sarah Cook. How was the experience of commentating?
It's fantastic to be here. Us Aussies love our rowing, and we especially love the Henley Royal Regatta, so it's fantastic to be here and part of the action.
What is the appeal of Henley for someone coming from abroad? Do we see it from a domestic point of view? It seems a very British thing. What does it seem like? You competed here definitely more than once. What was that like?
Yeah, look, I think Henley Royal Regatta is something that is quintessentially British, but at the same time, because of the type of event that it is and the calibre of the racing, it attracts an incredibly strong field of athletes. And I represented Australia here in 2011 in the women's quad and was beaten by the USA. So a number of Olympic medalists and world champions have competed here over the years, and certainly we'll see them in action later in the week. So I think it's a very strong draw card, not only because of the event and the atmosphere, but because of the strong racing that we experience. It's a great lead-in to our international season, so us Aussies always love to come and compete.
How did the Aussie crew get on today? Some up, some down?
Yeah, look, some mixed results, but the Mercantile Men's 8 won their race, so looking forward to seeing them progress, and the Australian Men's 8 up in action against GB on Saturday, which we're very much looking forward to.
The ashes on the water.
That's it.
Right, that's it for the highlights for day 1. Don't forget, you can watch every single race on YouTube on the playlists underneath. They are categorised by event. We'll be here each night after the racing with a highlights package. So until tomorrow, it's bye-bye.